All right, good morning and welcome to a special board meeting of the USD 288 Education. I'd like to call this to order, 7:45. Anybody see anything on the agenda? We'll move to it.
Also move.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion by Jason, seconded by Gina to adopt the agenda. All in favor? Opposed? 5-0. ESP Contract Approval. You have the paper in front of you, and I think Scott emailed it out to everyone to look through. My question, I guess, the total that was attached, the 7,000 would be added to that total, right?
That is correct.
And the where does the 962 fit in? Is that another added?
That would be, and I talked to them yesterday, and that is to get shelf stock, so if anything did happen, we could immediately change it out without making phone calls and filling out paperwork for warranty. My question to them was, what kind of warranty is it if you have to pay $962 for bulbs and replacement parts? And they said when you use that replacement part, then you submit it and you get reimbursed. So that stock it's prepaid, but it will be paid if it's used for the life of the warranty.
But if it's not used, there should still be good and we would have.
Yeah. The only thing that isn't advantageous to us is having it on hand so that if something would malfunction, we could repair it immediately and not jump through the hoops to get something shipped and wait. I don't know that it's critical. If one LED strip goes out, I don't think it's going to put us in total darkness. But in the overall realm of things, if you'd seen the invoices of fluorescent bulb bills that we paid, it's a drop in the hat. It was, $500 a case and case after case after case. So I would point out that 7,300, when we walked through the elementary school, it's all exposed bulbs like this, and most of those classrooms have a suspended ceiling that's been installed. So we removed one of the panels so we could see the depth to the original ceiling, and there is room to put a flush panel like here, so we could convert those bulbs that are exposed to panels like this, which would aesthetically be nicer.
Is there also a safety feature, safety aspect to that versus having an exposed bulb if it throws something at the ceiling?
Yep.
Versus having a covered panel?
The LEDs should be, are they still a tube bulb or are they more of the plastic strip?
There'll be two. There'll be an LED tube. But what they'll also do is get rid of all the 8-footers and convert everything to 4-foot. Because right now we've just got this blend of 4s here, 8s there, 8s in the back, 4s in the front, and we just have this inventory of different bulbs all the time. So it does simplify.
And how many bulbs do we have in inventory right now that we would potentially?
Actually, we don't have, we can't find any.
Okay.
And we currently, the last count that we had 338 fluorescent bulbs that were out.
Wow. Okay.
And we've been holding off buying anything because I didn't want to spend another $1,500 on bulbs that.
Garage sale, the extra one, garage sale when we're done.
It was a sensor type wall and ceiling, so that means there are sensors that are to save electricity, they're going to kick on and off, or I wasn't really sure what the sensor piece.
Where are you?
On the side, all of them is either say wall or ceiling. At the very end, on the very spreadsheets, on the last column it says sensor type wall and ceiling. On every page, every single page has it.
Well, but there's a sensor quantity as well, so not all of them have sensors.
I don't know the answer to that question. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
I just didn't know if that meant with sensors, quote under there are actual sensors that then the lights are going to kick off after so long, and then when someone walks back in, they're going to kick back on, or what that meant.
I would say, given the sensor quantity column next to that, there's a lot of zeros.
Mhm.
And where they put one, maybe that's where they will put the sensor and where it will be.
Okay.
Because on the very first page I see in the office, it says sensor quantity 1 wall. But in the copy room, sensor quantity 0.
All right, sorry, I didn't catch
Now,
that.
I can check that out.
No, that's okay.
I don't know.
No,
We currently only have them in the bathroom at the high school, it's the only ones I know about in this district. And so maybe that's what they were keeping them, or maybe
We had,
adding some.
and we had a long discussion on where could we put sensors that would,
That's the bus driver.
so,
Oh, and in the storm shelter, those are all sensitive.
Those are all
'cause that's-
censored.
They're new.
What's the hall by 108, is that? junior high?
108.
Thanks,
Yes, that's
Okay.
junior high hallway.
Those say they're ceilings, so that would probably be if you're walking down the hall, it would.
We've talked to so many light people, we did talk about putting them in like the locker rooms, because those lights are on and then there's no kids in there. And we talked about like hallways, during the day, there's no one, hopefully they're in class.
Yes.
So maybe that, they are adding them to save energy.
Okay.
so they're showing a quantity of 43 sensors. That would be a significant increase over what we currently have.
Yeah.
But I know we had that discussion in multiple areas of, could this be sensor activated so that,
And that would definitely save on
Yes.
cost.
I can verify that though.
A lot of those look like they're in the hallways, that makes sense.
The locker rooms did show. So. Okay.
So what they're proposing is that, and this is the third company that I've talked to, they're proposing $128,802, $128,802. This company is the only one that's guaranteeing that we will see a reduction in electrical use of lighting of $21,125 a year. They guarantee that to the point that if they come in at 19, they will write a check for the difference up to that amount. You do have to add in the $73.50, which I think is a smart thing to do. Regardless of what happens in the future, it's an upgrade that now's the time to do it. What I would propose is that we pay for this out of our wind farm pilot money, so that there is no tax dollars used, taxpayer, general fund, general budget money used, so that we don't really even have to wait to see the return on the investment. That $21,000 guaranteed savings per year will be realized in our general fund accounting. So we will see those savings immediately without having to wait for the 6.1 year return on investment. And we could pay for it out of capital outlay, but then it would take 6 years before we realize it. So I think if we take it out of that fund, then that $21,000 and some change is an annual savings in our normal operating budget.
We're at $136,152 if you just add the 7,000. We're at $137,114 if you add the shelf stock or the on-hand light bulbs. So 137,114 would be the total there.
I move that we accept the contract from ESP for the total amount that the last figure that John just mentioned.
For the 137,114.
A second.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I would just say, before you take a vote, understand that when we get our wind farm pilot money in January, that will cancel out this year's payment.
I have a minor question. Early on, when this was first talked about, I mentioned that at our house, we're having troubles with these new LEDs. And since then, I've visited with some electricians to find out that we in our house probably have some kind of electrical issue something to keep in mind. Like I said, at our place, we're frustrated because there's something in our house that burns them out in a year or two.
The good thing, if I understand this right, they guarantee everything that they put in for 5 years. So for 5 years, we're guaranteed. So if we burn them out in 1 or 2 years,
I know, but we will be probably liable to fix the problem.
Electric.
If
yeah, I guess we get the new bulbs, but we would have.
we get the new bulbs, but if
Okay, I get where you're
I'm
going.
not an electrician, I don't fully understand these
Yes.
things.
Yes.
And also, the other thing that I would mention for discussion is that I have the same problem at my house. I have a 10-year bulb and I don't write dates on them and they're always going out. There is according to both companies that I spoke with, there is a quality issue in what you can buy at Menards or Lowe's or whatever else, and a commercial, it's a very cheap bulb. This is what and both places told me, so I have no reason to doubt them. Very cheap manufactured bulbs that are for home use. And this is a completely different quality grade of LED diode, is what I'm told.
Yep.
So we're getting a cheap stock from.
Good. That's all.
Okay. Any other discussion? Good. Okay. Motion by Gina, seconded by David, that USD 298 Board of Education approve the acceptance of the ESP light conversion pending KASB legal approval of the contract. Do we need to put in there that we'll pay out of wind farm?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's how it is. Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Okay. The executive session for personnel. How long do you have? 10 minutes. Okay, let's go 10 minutes start. I have 7:58.
Requesting you to spend.
Okay, and ask you to the superintendent. Okay. Motion? Okay.
I'll second.
Motion by Jason, seconded by Jessica, that USD 298 Board of Education go into executive session at 7:58 a.m. for 10 minutes with the superintendent and Principal Nikki Flynn for the purpose of discussing personnel matters for non-elected personnel. Let the Board of Education return to open meeting at 8:08 a.m. in the Board of Education conference room. The executive session is required to protect the privacy of non-elected personnel exempt under COMA. All in favor?